Nasabit nga ang pangalan ng TV host, aktor at mayor ng Ormoc City na si Richard Gomez. Ito nga ay matapos nitong ipagtanggol sina former President Rodrigo Duterte at Bato de la Rosa patungkol sa EJK. Ayon kay Richard Gomez, wala umano siyang nakikitang mali sa mga ginawa ni former President Duterte dahil mas nalinis daw ang kanilang lugar. Narito panoorin ang naging debate sa Senate hearing kung saan ipinagtanggol ni Richard Gomez si former President Rodrigo Duterte.
I was a mayor when the drug war was implemented, Mr. Chair. And let me tell you, nasa lahat ng implementations nila against the fight with the fight against drugs, hindi ka pwedeng lumapit sa drug pusher o sa drug lord at sabihin mo, pwede ho ba tumigil na ho kayo? Kasi lahat ito, all of these people, all of these personalities, they have firearms. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa tumigil ka na. Ay babarili ka agad ng mga yan. So during the implementation na nanguhuli sila at hinaharang nila to, nagkakaputukan talaga, and that is really true. Sad na may namamatay. Sad pati yung polis na sasama. Pero inuutusan yung polis eh. Trabaho nila, Mr. Chair, pag sinabi ng higher up sila, gawin nyo ito. They will do what they're told. And that's the reason na marami namatay. Both from the civilian, both from the police, pati na rin yung mga drug personalities. Now, Mr. Chair, in our conversations, there are two more items that I'd like to bring up, Mr. Chair. First, when Mr. Kerwin Espinosa said na lahat ng sinabi niya sa Senate hindi totoo. That is an institution that we also have to protect. What if he will go into another investigation and he will say that everything he said here is not real, is not true? So, ano yung pinanghahawakan natin lahat? In both institutions of the Senate and the House. And second, it was Colonel Marcos who was head of the CIDG in Leyte at that time during the killing of the father of Kerwin Espinosa. And ang haba nung sinabi ni Kerwin, but we haven't heard yung side, Mr. Chair, ni Colonel Marcos kung ano yung masasabi ni Colonel Marcos regarding sa mga nangyari sa event ng pagkamatay ng father ni Kerwin Espinosa. So, Mr. Chair, will it be possible to hear aside from Colonel Marcos against sa sinabi ni Kerwin so that we can hear both sides?
Yes, kanina earlier when Congressman Rog Gutierrez and other members were asking questions to Colonel Marcos, sinasagot naman ni Colonel Marcos yung patungkol doon sa kwento sa totoong nangyari doon sa loob ng kulungan sa Leyte.
Bye-bye.
And somehow he has already given some information to the committee as to kung ano naman yung side o yung version ng story on the side of Colonel Marcos.
Yes,
earlier, may mga comments na dinagdag si Colonel Marcos, but we reminded him na hindi pa pwedeng sumobra yung kanyang sagot dun sa tanong na tinatanong ni Congressman Gutierrez, and we promised him that we will give him time later on before we shift to another topic para magkaroon din ng pagkakataon siya sa committee ito na magkwento o mas masagot yung mabigyan ng isang side o isang anggulo yung sinasabi naman ni Kerwin Espinosa. And we will give him that later, Your Honor. But
Mr. Chair,
yes.
Also, if we can take up protecting our institution and the Senate.
I absolutely agree
yes.
with you, Congressman Gomez. In fact, paalala lang sa ating mga resource persons na naimbita, for the information na rin ng ating publiko, hindi naman po 101% pinaniniwalaan natin ng kumiting ito ang kanilang mga testimonya. The only reason why we are asking them to execute an affidavit nang sa ganon ay hindi po tayo balikan in the future para sabihin nila na sila ipinressure, tinakot, pinilit, o hindi kaya isinubuan ng statement. And that is the reason why we require them to execute an affidavit. So ito ang gusto nating sabihin because we really want to protect the institution, both the Senate at itong lower house. Dahil po tayo dito sa Quadcom, ang ating layunin, wala naman iba kundi ipalabas ang katotohanan. Kung meron man pong lumalabas na mga personalidad o pangalang nababanggit, base sa mga testimonya o hindi kaya sa dokumentong isinasubmit sa atin, yan po ay tinitimbang natin. Nang sa ganoon, pag tayo'y gumawa ng committee report, lahat po ng side ng kwento ay kasama ho sa ating committee report.
Yes, Mr. Chair. And lastly, with regards to the statement of PDEA, I think it is inaccurate for him to say that the drug fight or the drug problem did not improve during the drug war. I can say that in my city, when I was mayor, nag-improve yung nag-improve yung situation namin during the drug war because yung police namin nagtrabaho talaga sila. As a matter of fact, during the course na marami silang hinuli, in less than 2 months, Mr. Chair, there are over 900 people who surrendered in front of my city hall when I was mayor. Why? Because natatakot ho sila na mamatay and they surrendered. And because of that, the drug problem in Ormoc City, bumaba talaga. So, it is not accurate that the Director General said na hindi nag-improve ang situation. At least in my part, as mayor, and I can only speak for myself, nag-improve yung aming lugar.
Yes. May we now ask PDEA to categorically state, no, is this the opinion of the Director General only, or this is based on reports or facts that were gathered by the PDEA when you said that it did not improve?
Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, the question that was asked was that with the passing away of Mayor Espinosa, did it have any effect in Albuera? That's why my answer was that as far as Albuera is concerned, we neither have any indication whether it diminished or the drug campaign or the drug trafficking situation flourished. That was my answer, Your Honor.
Okay. Does that satisfy Congressman Gomez?
I'm good, Mr. Chair. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, DG.
Thank you, DG. Thank you, Congressman Gomez. The next to interpolate is Congressman Paduano, the chair of the Committee on Public Accounts.
Thank you, Chairman. Before I proceed with regards to the issues that was raised by our colleagues, doon po sa raid at saka yung sa search warrant, doon sa Bye-Bye Leyte. Mr. Espinosa, yung pakitingnan na po yung paragraph 17 of your affidavit. Paragraph 17 po. Page 3. Paragraph 17. Now, you mentioned about the conversation between General Bato and Espilido. Gamit ang cellphone niya para tanungin siya tungkol sa CCTV footage ng Zilan Hotel sa Albuera, Leyte. Do you have direct knowledge or any knowledge about this CCTV footage?
Sa panahon na yon, meron kasi kasama ako ng daddy ko na nag-abot ng pera kay Sir Marcos.
So yung CCTV na to, na footage, is all about the footage that was taken in that hotel when you give the money to Colonel Marcos.
I'm not the one who give the money, but ang papa ko ang nagbigay, nag-on hand sa kanya.
Okay. And Mr. Chairman, just to put on record that we need to again invite Colonel Espinido with regards to this CCTV footage doon sa Celan Hotel in which the allegation of Kerwin Espinosa is with regards to the money being handed to Colonel Marcos from his father. Tama?
Yes po,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, now, Mr. Chairman, can we request the COMSEC to invite in the next hearing Colonel Espinido? Kailangan niya pong sagutin to. Next.
Comsec, can you take note of the request of Congressman Paduano to invite Colonel Espinido?
Next, dun po sa page 3, paragraph 16 to 20. This is all about the conversation between you, between Bato de la Rosa and Espinido, and at the same time, yung pag-uusap nyo ni former General Bato de la Rosa, now Senator Bato de la Rosa, you mentioned that during that conversation, your mother is present. Can you confirm it?
Yes po, nandun po yung mama ko.
Narinig
At
ba ng...
hindi lang po ang mama ko, pati yung kapatid ko na isa.
Who is the name of your brother, sister?
Sister.
Sister? Who is the...
Mariel Espinosa.
Mariel Espinosa.
Salepa Eslabon Espinosa.
Narinig po ba nila yung pinag-uusapan?
Opo.
Sigurado ka?
Sigurado ako kasi nasa hindi dito ako halimbawa dito ako nakapwesto, ang higaan ko ay diyan lang sa first na upuan.
So, ang kausap mo noon, si General Bato de la Rosa.
Opo.
Ang pinag-usapan niya tungkol doon sa
CCTV at sa plano na idawit ang pangalan ni Peter Lim at ni Laila de Lima at yung kay Dayan na i-align yung mga date at lugar na babanggitin sa Senado.
saan ngayon yung kapatid mo at saka nanay mo?
Nasa probinsya po, Mr. Chair.
Sa Albuera,
Sa Albuera.
sa bahay niyo.
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, with that, may we request that we invite in the next hearing the mother of Kerwin Espinosa and his sister. No, that was so that it will be confirmed and corroborated the statement being made by Kerwin Espinosa in his affidavit. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Comsec, please invite the mother and the sister of Kerwin Espinosa in our next scheduled committee hearing on the subject of extrajudicial killings.
And Mr. Chairman, can we request, since General Torre, the head of the CIGG in the whole country, can we request General Torre to secure the safety of the name mentioned, the mother and the sister of Kerwin Espinosa?
Yes, sir. Will do, sir.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Chairman, let me proceed with the next item with regards to the statements of Kerwin and the statement of Colonel Marcos. But before that, may I ask the AMLAC, do you have now the exact before AMLAC, Mr. Chair, to answer, when Congressman Kung Hoon asked the CHR with regards to complaints and complaints on extrajudicial killing, on their records, he mentioned about police officers involved. And Congressman Kung Hoon requested for the figures. But let me amend such, or a rejoinder on that. Can we request not only the figure, can we request the list of all the PNP officers in that complaint, no? And the circumstances. And that includes the dates. The dates, the cases, the incident or accident happened with regards to AGK.
Honorable Chair, yes, the Commission on Human Rights will comply with the request of the Honorable Committee.
Can you submit it before the next hearing?
Yes, Your Honor, we will comply, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, AMLAC, with regards to the 5.1 billion freeze order by AMLAC been mentioned by Colonel Marcos, is it correct?
Your Honor, at present, there is a civil forfeiture case which is ongoing against Mr. Kerwin Espinosa, and properties which are frozen at present. For the peso account, it's amounting to 1,235,439 and 90 centavos. And there is also a US dollar account in the amount of $502.33. Also, there are 11 real properties. This include a one residential lot worth 336,000 pesos. Another is one fishing ship, 17 motor vehicles, 4 motorcycles, 4 firearms, and 2 watercrafts. The asset preservation order on these properties were issued on the 31st of July 2017. So there is no 5 billion, Your Honor, that was frozen by the AMLAC. That might have been sourced from news articles.
Colonel Marcos, can you comment on that?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, kanina lumapit po ako sa taga-AMLA, sir. Pre-provide ko sa kanya yung documents na pre-provide din sa akin nung dalawang attorney ng taga-AMLA. Yung scheme...
Sandali po.
Yung,
Documents coming from the AMLAC,
Yes.
dalawang attorney. Is it official and authenticated?
hindi naman po, sir.
O hindi dapat. So you should not mention in this committee those documents if it's not official.
Pati po yung...
Hindi nga, sandali.
Yes, sir.
Sama na. You should not use it in your statement, those documents that is not official.
Yes,
And who is that two attorneys from AMLAC?
Pinipilit ko pong i-recall.
Now you don't recall.
Yung
Now you can't recall. Can you recall it or not?
Nandoon po sa isang cellphone ko, sir. Sa isang cellphone ko na hindi ko na ginamit. At saka nag-provide po ako ng cheque na nandoon po yung corporation. Blue
Sandali.
Opo.
Sandali. Dahan-dahan mo na. I'm just asking you about that 5.1 billion. And you tell this committee that your source is the two attorney or lawyer from the AMLAC. Now, I told you that is not an official document. Correct?
It could be, hindi ba siya authenticated, sir?
Oh, that's why you cannot use it. Dahan-dahan ka po. Dito sa committee to. Second, you cannot anymore remember that two lawyers from AMLAC?
Pardon, sir?
Hindi mo na matandaan yung dalawang abogado?
Pili ko nire-recall, pero sigurado ako, sir, nandun sa isang cellphone ko po yung
How did you get that information? You talk to them? Personally?
We were ongoing, sir, with the financial...
Sandali. You talk to them, yes or no? Personally?
Personally, sir.
So you cannot remember the names? You talk to them personally, but you cannot remember the names? Even surname or family name? Eto I just want to warn you, because we will produce the two lawyers. If you cannot name it in today's hearing, I will cite you in contempt for lying. Just want to warn you. Huwag mo kaming burahin dito, Colonel Marcos. Are you still with the CIDG?
Yes po, sir.
Oh, General Torreo, yung tao mo is telling a lie. He is lying in front of this committee. So you can name the two lawyers? As you have mentioned, you talk to them personally. But now you cannot mention the name.
It was 7 years ago.
Sorry?
Yung pangalan nila, sir, at saka yung cellphone number, nandun po sa isang cellphone ko, sir.
No, I'm not asking about the cell phone number.
Bali po,
I'm asking about the names because if you have is the two lawyers assigned in the central office?
Sir,
Naka-assign ba po yung dalawang lawyers sa central office ng AMLA?
possible, sir.
But possible. You're a CIDG intelligence officer and you never checked the background of the two lawyers you mentioned?
Actually,
And that is the source of your 5.1 billion telling in this committee?
actually, sir, these two lawyers conducted seminar on all CIDG personnel and regional
When was that? Ito, lumalabling tayo.
2016,
Saan
sir.
yung seminar na yan?
It was 2016, sir. Training kami pertaining to money laundering.
Saan yan?
Dito, sir, sa Manila, lahat ng RC.
Saan sa Manila?
Isang hotel, sir.
Saan hotel? O, hindi mo na naman matandaan yung hotel.
Actually, the training, sir, is mandatory for regional.
Hindi nga, I'm asking you about the hotel. You cannot mention the name. Now you're telling us that there is a seminar in that hotel. And what is that hotel? Because we have to check that hotel. If indeed there's seminar on that day.
I'll try to recall, sir. Doon ko po nakilala yung dalawang lawyer.
Eto, Colonel Marcos, ha? Eto, I just want to warn you.
Mr. Chair,
Eto, this is your first offense of lying.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
with the indulgence of the Honorable Paduano,
With the indulgence of Congressman
one
Paduano.
question lang, one question.
Yes, Congressman Akop, you're recognized.
Colonel Marcos, yung information regarding yung 5 billion ba, was it voluntarily given you or did you ask for it?
It was voluntarily given to me, sir.
Then
Because
it is mandatory that you recall the names of the two AMLAC. Because that is not appropriate.
yes, sir, I will give, sir, the two names, sir.
Kami nga, hindi nga namin basta-basta makuha yung kwan kung walang predicate crime eh.
I will provide the two names, sir.
Yes,
Because
provide it. Otherwise, I will agree with the Honorable Paduano that you should be cited in contempt. Kasi sinagot mo yung katanungan sa katanungan ni Honorable Rodriguez Gutierrez kanina. Yes.
sir,
Ikaw ang nag-volunteer nun na yung kwan ni Mr. Espinosa, ang transaction is worth 5 billion.
can I explain a little, sir? Nung binigay po sa akin yung information,
Hindi kita tinatanong. Ang tinanong ko lang sa iyo is, did you ask for the details or binolunteer ng AMLAC?
it was voluntarily given to me because mayroon po silang binigay na documents on the scheme of the money laundering. Nandito po sa cellphone. Yun po ang binigay.
Thank you, Honorable Paduano.
Chairman, kaya
Please proceed.
Amlak, is it normal? Kasi kami dito, pag nag-request kami, doon sa asset, freezing of assets, ang daming requirements. But Colonel Marcos is telling this committee na binigay sa kanya voluntarily that allegedly that 5.1 billion asset. And looking at your records, nandito ngayon hawak ko, and you mentioned it, wala. Di ba? Kaya is it normal, Amlak?
Your Honor, for the meeting that Colonel Marcos mentioned, well, it's usual occurrence for us to have coordination meetings with our counterparts, Your Honor. But as to the disclosure of transactions, I'm not really sure if, but me as an investigator, when we conduct these meetings, we don't readily disclose information because of the bank secrecy law and
Sir,
Section 8
naalala
of
ko
the-
na. Si General Lubusan, sir, yung dalawang lawyer na taga-AMLA, inutusan niya, sir, na pumunta ng Tacloban para harapin ako, sir, because I was ongoing investigation on a Metrobank account also pertaining to drug money. Ngayon, sir, kaya ako na-meet, sir, yung dalawang lawyer. Hindi ko naman sila personal na kilala, pero sinabi ni General Lubusan doon sa AMLA dalawang lawyer, pumunta kayo kay Colonel Marcos sa Region 8. You coordinate with him. He will give you all the information.
Oh, Colonel
Ano
Marcos,
nangyari?
you're now changing your story. Tama?
It is how I meet, sir, the two lawyers.
Sandali.
Opo, sir.
So you're not changing your story? Yes or no?
Hindi naman po, sir. Doon ko sila
Anong
nakita.
hindi? You tell this committee a while ago that during your seminar, Then all of a sudden, inutusan na certain General Robusa, eto, problema pa, papatawag namin si General Robusa. And if he deny it, lagot ka.
Both occasions, sir, are true. Yung una, sir, na-meet ko sila dahil pinapunta sila ni General Ubusan sa Region 8. Mag-coordinate sa akin.
Dali.
After that, sir, dahil hindi si kumbinsido yung taga-AMLA sa knowledge namin pertaining to financial investigation on money laundering, nagpakandak po si General Ubusan ng seminar. Yun po. Doon ko na naman sila po na-meet uli.
So nauna yung pagpunta nila sa Leyte.
It was the first time that I met them kasi inutusan silang pumunta ng OTSO para mag-coordinate sa akin, may bigay ko yung mga impormasyon na kailangan nila. At the same time, sir, na-convince sila na yung mga chief ng CIDG hindi equipped pertaining to financial investigation.
Mr.
So,
Chair.
nagpakandak ko, sir, ng seminar.
Mr.
So
Chair.
you're with the indulgence of General Acop, Chairman Acop after me. Ito na lang po, so you're telling that the two lawyers you cannot mention is lying?
Lying po.
Lying. Because on record, there is a such thing as 5.1 billion. So they're lying, but still you cannot mention their name?
It is the, sir, a Blue Oceanic Corporation Textile.
No. What? Answer directly my question. Di ba? Sinabi mo 5 billion, 5.1 billion. Now we check with AMLA, wala. Now you're telling this committee that the two lawyers in which until now we cannot mention is lying?
Wala naman sila dito, sir, para i-deny yung sinasabi ko.
Hindi. This is record. Nako, Colonel Marcos, are you a lawyer?
Hindi naman po.
Oh, wag kang mag-lawyering dito.
Hindi po ako nagdo-lawyer.
Papalusot ka, I am not a lawyer, pero hindi ka pwedeng lumusot dito.
Sir, it's an honest to goodness information, sir. Wala akong motibo, sir, na...
Hindi, kaya nga yung tinatanong ko, kasi kanina hindi naman tinanong sa'yo, ikaw mismo voluntarily, when you are being asked by Kong Rods. Now, hindi mo ma-mention yung pangalan. Now, nandito na yung dokumento, official document. O still, are you insisting?
Yung po kasi ang binigay na info sa akin, sir.
You cannot produce the name. Then you will tell this committee that you're telling the truth.
Nandun kasi, sir, sa isang cellphone ko yung pangalan. Pinipilit ko pong i-recall, sir. Pasensya na po.
Bakit anong nandun sa, binigyan ka ba ng cellphone number?
Nirecord ko po yung mga pangalan niya, sir.
Or do you have the document, official document, that you were ordered by a certain General Bosa to meet that to AMLAC personnel or lawyers?
Tinawagan lang po ako, sir, ni
O, yun ang problema. Because that instruction is verbal.
O, verbal, sir.
Oh. So, verbal, okay ka?
Sir?
Okay sa'yo na verbal. Verbal instruction.
Bali, tinawagan ako ni General Lubusan na may pupunta sa
Hindi kaya nga eh. Okay sa verbal. Instruction. Na napaka-sensitive. It's all about acid nung Espinosa.
Oh, they were ongoing investigation noon, sir.
Oh, yun yung problema mo, Tony.
Ongoing po.
Colonel Marcos, yun ang problema mo. Eto i-hold ko muna. Yes, Chairman Acop.
Mr. Chair, ang tanong ko lang, sabi mo na naman ngayon, nautusan ka ni General Ubusan, who I presume was the chief of the CIDG then.
Yes, sir.
Siya ang boss mo. Inutusan o sinabihan ni General Ubusan yung dalawang AMLAC na pumunta sa iyo kasi ikaw ang nakakalam. Tama ba yung pagkarinig ko sa sagot mo?
Opo, sir. Tama po, sir.
Ano yung bagay na iniimbestiga ng AMLAC? At bakit lumabas doon yung 5.1 billion na sinasabi na financial transaction ni Mr. Kerwin Espinosa?
Kasi during that time, sir, I was, dahil ako ang regional chief ng CIDGA,
sinabi ba nila?
Sir,
Sinabi ba nila na ang iimbestigahan nila yung financial transaction ni Mr. Kerwin Espinosa?
yes po, sir. Yun ang specific na pakay nila, sir.
Ay, mandatory na sabihin mo yung pangalan ng dalawang AMLAC.
Opo, sir.
Chairman, can I proceed? Thank you, Chairman Acop. Now, You should submit in this committee the names of that two lawyers from AMLAC before we end this hearing. Or else, this committee will be pushed to cite you in contempt, Colonel Marcos. Sorry.
Sige
You
po,
should
sir.
produce.
I-recall ko, sir.
Now, let me proceed, Mr. Chairman. You mentioned, kaya tinanong kita kanina kung lawyer ka eh. Kasi you mentioned about compelling reasons for the issuance of search warrant.
Yes, sir.
Oh, matanong nga kita, what is the compelling reason to issue search warrant inside the jail? And it happens not only once, ha? Colonel Marcos, it happens not only once. It happens twice during your time.
Yes, sir.
Tama?
Yes, sir.
Twice nangyari. Dalawang beses, dalawa ring tao ang namatay
Yes, sir.
na mga allegedly drug lords.
Opo, sir.
Oh, now, please answer what are those compelling reasons? Kasi nandito taga-GOJ. Tatanungin ko,
Yung usually, sir, pag nagkakaroon kami ng application on other areas, hindi doon sa jurisdiction ng judge, sir, na nakakasakop doon sa dapat a-applyan namin ng search warrant na lugar. Ang isang compelling reason, there is reasonable, this is a valid reason na maaring mag-leak, sir, yung search warrant na ina-apply namin. Yun po yung...
okay, valid reason
Opo, sir.
that you can serve the search warrant. Tama?
Bali, pag mag-a-apply po kami, sir, sa isang judge na sasabihin ng judge, o bakit dito kayo nag-a-apply? Eh, may judge man doon sa lugar na yon.
Hindi, sandali.
Opo, sir.
Ikaw, Colonel Marcos, ha? Halata ka na. Ang tinatanong ko lang yung compelling reason. Hindi kung saan mo kinuha. Darating tayo dyan mamaya.
Opo, sir.
Kung saan ka nag-apply, darating tayo mamaya. You answer first. Sa'yo to nagaling eh.
Opo, sir. Bali, ano yung pa yung reason, sir? Yung para hindi mag-leak po yung search warrant. Kasi
Sorry?
pag minsan kasi...
You are not, Colonel Marcos, you are not answering my question. Ang sinasagot mo, Colonel Marcos, makinig ka. Ang sinasagot mo, yung reason why, instead of getting search warrant in Leyte, you get your search warrant in Samar. Yun ang sinasagot mo. Di ba?
Opo, sir.
Mali. Ang tanong ko, what is the compelling reason to issue a search warrant in a government facility, and in this case, a jail under the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. What is that compelling reason?
We have a reason to believe, sir, based on the intel reports, that there is collusion between the jail guards.
Again, you don't answer my question. Ang tinatanong ko, hindi kung saan ka kumuha ng search warrant. Ang tinatanong ko, yung sinasabi mong compelling reason to issue a search warrant inside a government facility, and in this case, sa jail, under the supervision of the BGMP. O anong compelling reason?
May intel report nga kami, sir, na yung mga jail guards is medyo kumbaga patong na, sir, doon sa operation.
Dali. Again, yung tinasagot mo sa akin, application of search warrant, pupunta rin tayo doon mamaya. Ang tinatanong ko lang, ano yung sinasabi mong compelling reason for you to ask for search warrant, and the court will issue a search warrant indeed in a government facility, and in this case, jail under the BGMP. Ikaw nagsabi.
Because there is a criminal act going on, sir, inside the jail. Kumbaga, mayroong...
Criminal act?
Oh, parang may...
Okay, mamaya punta natin. DOJ. Nandito DOJ? Criminal act ha? Tandaan mo ha, Colonel Marcos, pag nagkamali ka dito, na nagsisinungaling ka, baka baguhin mo na, I will cite you in contempt. DOJ, did you get the question that I raised to Colonel Marcos na defensive siya, umiiwas siya, nasagutin? O what is that compelling reason daw? Is there a compelling reason to issue search warrant in the jail?
Mr. Chair, regarding that, particular case, Mr. Chair, there's already an en banc decision by the court, the Supreme Court, saying that there is no compelling reason for the issuance or for the issuance of the warrant. I mean, there's no compelling reason for the application of a search warrant in a jail facility, Mr. Chair.
That is a jurisprudence.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair.
Oh, Colonel Marcos, eto, hindi ako lawyer, pero ganon din pagkaintindi ko. Eto, DOJ na yung sasabi. Oh, do you have to contest the opinion of the legal minds from DOJ?
Hindi po, sir.
Oh, better not talk. Kasi yun lang tanong ko eh. Now, next. Eto, establish. Okay. Kasi, under the jail management, may upland galugad dyan eh. Di ba? That is the standard operating procedure of the BGMP if indeed there is an information that that jail, particular jail, may illegal na nangyayari sa loob. Oh, you know.
I agree, sir.
Oh, so you now agree that you cannot supposedly use it that apply a search warrant. That is the opinion of the DOJ.
Actually, sir, yung operation na yun, hindi man talaga papayag na papasok sa isang decision.
Sandali, punta natin mamaya yun. Ang tinatanong ko lang muna dito, I just want to establish that you should not apply a search warrant in a jail. That is now a jurisprudence.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me proceed. Ito tatlong case. Now, in the case of Egay Alvarez, isabihin ko na siya para baka mamaya, Egay Alvarez happens August 11. After, the day before Paranaque case of Bantag happens. And 2 days after, August 13, the case that 3 Chinese national was killed inside the Picol. The first, kung baga, babalikan ko yon mamaya pag nandito si Garma, the first, at saka si Leonardo, the first incident na may impact doon sa war on drugs is the case happened in your area. And that is the case of Egay Alvarez, happens to be a detainee at the time, and allegedly a drug lord, and he was killed inside this jail because of your search warrant. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, first question. Sino ang judge na nag-issue ng search warrant?
In the case, sir, of Abuyog Penal Colony, ang nag-issue po is si Judge Janet Cabaluna po, sir.
Si Janet Cabaluna.
Opo, sir.
And she was also the judge that you applied first for Mayor Espinosa.
Hindi po, sir. Ibang judge naman po, sir. Bali si Judge Tarcelo Sabari naman kay Espinosa, sir.
Pero taga-Samar yun.
Samar po na ano.
Samar din yung isa. Yung Cabaluna.
Hindi, nalimutan ko na, sir, kung kasi hindi po akong applicant.
Hindi ko nga makalimutan eh.
Si Major Laraga po ang applicant, sir.
But yeah, Major Lala is under you.
Opo, sir.
Kaya nga nagkakaso ka doon, di ba?
Opo, sir. Hindi ko, basta within Leyte yata, sir, si Judge Cabaluna. O hindi, or sama, hindi lang ako sure yung kung saan, sir.
Colonel naman, kanina mo pa dinipinsahan niya, you have to take search warrant outside of the jurisdiction because the connection of blah, blah, blah to the jail and the court.
Samar.
Tapos ngayon, ayaw mo aminin, taga-Samar.
Samar siguro, Samar, sir.
Ay, hindi nga ako involved doon eh. Pero alam ko na taga-Samar.
Opo, sir.
Oh, in applying for a search warrant, in this case, eto, Colonel ha, eto, pag nagkamali ka dito, I will cite you in contempt. Who is your deponent? Who is your deponent?
Sa Albuera, sir, naalala
No,
ko, si
hindi Albuera. At tinatanong ko ngayon yung kay Egay pa, Alvarez. Who is the deponent?
Si Major Laraga po, sir, makakasagot kasi sila po ang applicant, sir. Hindi po ako. Di silang pumunta sa judge. Pero maalala ko sa...
Sandali, but yung major is under your watch.
Opo, sir.
Tama?
Opo, sir.
Oo. Di ba?
Hindi...
Oh, so you allow that major to ask for a search warrant without knowing the deponent?
Sir, ganito po ang procedure namin sa CIDG. Yung mga provincial officers po namin, kanya-kanya po yan nag-a-apply ng search warrant. Ang regional chief po, sir, hindi po nagtatanong kung sino pong deponent.
Sandali.
Opo, sir, ganun po
Sandali.
namin.
But, Colonel Marcos, ito part of the drug war. And in Region 8, you're the ones supervising such campaign as CIDG chief.
Opo, sir.
Now, sinong major yon?
Police Major Leo Laraga, sir. Siya ang provincial...
Ngayon, he's assigned in where?
Leyte provincial chief siya.
Ngayon, saan siya naka-assign?
CIDG pa rin ngayon, sir.
Is still active?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, can we ask General Torre to check that a certain major and
He is assigned with RFU 8 now, sir.
RFU 8?
Oh, CIDG 8, sir.
8. She is the chief.
No po, sa ngayon siya ang chief investigator yata doon, sir.
Oh, can you call him? Colonel Torre, can you check? General Torre, can you check?
Yes, sir. Will do, sir.
Please check the deponent of such search warrant.
Mag-feedback ako, sir.
Oh, ganito lang, Colonel Marcos. Yung deponent mo ba, police?
Civilian, sir.
Civilian?
Usually civilian, sir.
Hindi, tinatanong ko na in this case, hindi mo alam.
Sa Abuyog, sir, na search warrant, di ko po talaga, sir.
Okay, now, doon sa Baybay.
Civilian, sir. Paul Olindan.
Sino?
Paul Olindan.
O, Paul Olindan.
Opo, sir.
Is Paul Olindan a jail guard?
Hindi po, sir.
A detainee? Detainee ba siya?
Dati, sir. Dating preso yan, sir.
Oh, eto, Colonel Marcos, dating preso. Oh, kailan siya nakalabas sa bilangguan?
Ano siya, sir? Naka-parole.
O nga, kailan nga nakalaya? Kailan nakalaya?
Hindi ko alam ang...
Matagal na, before the incident happened.
Oh, matagal na po.
Okay, now, how can a deponent should have a direct knowledge? Di ba?
Yes, sir.
O, paano siya magkaroon ng direct knowledge doon sa selda, sa cell ni Mayor Espinosa kung he's not anymore a detainee? Pinipilot to kasi. Gumagawa kasi kayo ng kalokohan eh.
Sir, ang humaharap po kasi sa judge...
Hindi, tinatanong ko sa iyo, kung ang deponent mo is a former PDL, under parole, anong direct knowledge doon sa loob ng silda ni Mayor?
Ang nagdadala kasi, sir,
Sandali. Sandali.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yung deponent mo, may direct knowledge ba? Wala.
It will be based on the appreciation.
Hindi nga, ito nga ngayon, tinatanong kita, he's not anymore a PDL, under parole, he was not there in the jail, and still you use him as a deponent because you have something plan, a different plan for Mayor Espinosa. Oh,
Mr. Chair, clarification, Mr. Chair.
yes.
This
Yeah,
related
regarding
to the
this
question,
issue,
sir.
Mr. Chair, yes.
Okay.
I'd like to ask in layman's terms, Mr. Chair. Dahil yung police gusto nilang gawin yung trabaho nila, na makakuha sila ng search warrant, kasalanan ba nila na yung judge ang mag-issue ng search warrant? Now, if there is a jurisprudence from the Supreme Court, bakit nag-issue ang judge?
Hindi, yun na nga eh. Ang point dito is, deponent per se should have a direct knowledge. And of course, may problema ang judge. But at the same time, may problema kayong mga pulis. Alam mo bakit? Because you're forcing it to have a deponent without direct knowledge and you talk to the judge, in which ang judge ito may problema din, then you operate not on the reason of the items supposedly under the search warrant. Yun ang malinaw eh. Namatay si Egay Alvarez. Hindi ko sinasabi na he's not a drug lord. When in fact, ako alam ko, he's a drug lord. Pati source niya, pati yung namatay dun sa Dapicol. But of course, it's a different thing. It's a different story. We're talking about extrajudicial killing here. And hindi to simpleng coincidence. Hindi simpleng coincidence. Kasi dalawang jail sa Leyte ang nangyari. You serve a search warrant and the result is namatay yung mga allegedly drug lords or narcotics, narco drugs, politicians. Yun pong totoo. Di ba? Ang sinasabi ko, I am not defending here the drug pushers, the drug lords. But what I'm saying is, you're violating the law. Because you have a different purpose in getting the search warrant. Yun ang malinaw. And history is telling us now, it never happens na lumabas ang katotohanan during the previous administration because that is part of the drug war. Yun ang malinaw. Chairman Akop?
Congressman Paduano, kindly wrap up.
Chairman Akop, I thought you will... Anyway. Now, Colonel Marcos, you produced the deponent. The names of the deponent.
I will call Major Laraga, sir. After the, tatawagan ko kagad.
Ayun, si General Torre. At the same time, the deponent doon sa sa bahay ni Espinosa.
Opo, sir. Tatanong ko po kay Major Laraga kagad.
General Torre, kindly check, please.
Yes, sir. I'm
Kindly
already
wrap up,
talking to
Congressman
the
Paduano.
regional chief, sir. We are asking for the deponent and the applicant, sir.
And you produce, Attorney Colonel Marcos, the names of that lawyers within the day.
Yes,
If
sir.
you cannot produce those name of lawyers,
Yes, sir.
we'll be posed to cite you in contempt.
I will call my colleague, sir, para makakuha ko yung pangalan.
Now, you're saying about the involvement of the jail guards, di ba? Kaya kumuha kayo ng search warrant doon sa kabila, sa Samar, instead of getting it in Leyte?
Yes, sir.
O now, dahil, ba't doon kayo kumuha ng search warrant? Why?
Sa Samar, sir.
Yeah. Ba't doon sa Samar, not in Leyte?
Ganito po yan, sir. Si Major Laraga po, yung provincial officer ko, they are po the operating arm of different provinces. Pumunta po sa akin, sir, mag-apply po ako ng search warrant. Sinong applyan mo? Ito, sir, may input tayong ganito, ganito, ganito. O sige, i-apply mo ng search warrant. Kung i-approve ka ng judge, implement natin. Ngayon, sir, hindi man po lahat ng search warrant na ina-apply ng CIDG or ng provincial offices, ina-approve ng judge. Marami din pong dinideny. Ngayon, nataon, sir, si Major Laraga, pag-apply niyan, na-approve, in-implement po namin, sir.
And then, hindi pa sinasagot yung tanong ko eh. Why not in Leyte? Why in Samar?
Sa rin yun, sir, sa tinanong ko kay Major Laraga, bakit sa Samar ka mag-a-apply? Sabi niya, sir, pag dito ako, sir, nag-apply sa Baybay o dito sa malapit sa atin, yung mga empleyado dito, mag-interconnected yan. Mamaya, matawagan, sir, na may warrant tayong isi-serve. Yun ang binigay niyang reason sa akin.
Ano yan? Teorya nyo yan. Yeah, presumption nyo. Diba?
Assumption po ni Major Laraga, sir.
Hindi, pati kayo. Siyempre, nag-report na nga sa iyo eh. Pinayagan mo kahit na doon sa kabila.
Yes, sir.
Oh, di ba?
Nag-okay ako sa kanya, sir.
But a while ago, you're talking about the collusion between the alleged drug lord and the jail guards. Di ba? Sinabi mo yon?
Yes, sir. That is also based on the intel report submitted by Major Laraga.
Major Laraga?
Yes, sir. Leo Laraga, sir.
Siya yung siya yung na-demote
Oh, sir. Bali from na-demote yan, sir.
because of?
Under appeal sila sa NAPOLCOM.
And then, tinatanong
Because
because
of the
of?
administrative charge, sir, pertaining to the Espinosa case.
Okay. Now, ganito lang yun kasi, Colonel eh. Kasi if you have strong evidence or data, no evidence, with regards to collusion between jail guards and the drug lords, did you file a case against those jail guards?
Hindi po sir nag-file si Major, hindi kami nag-file sir.
O bakit hindi kayo nag-file? Kasi, di ba, kaya nyo kinuha yung search warrant sa Samar, not in Leyte because you believe that there is collusion between drug lords and the jail guards. So why didn't you file a case against the jail guards?
Sometimes kasi sir, intel reports doesn't stand in court. Hindi po tatayo sa korte ang intel report sir.
Yun yung problema eh.
Kaya hindi wrap up, Congressman Paduano.
Anyway, hindi pa ako tapos sana.
No, you will have your time.
Anyway.
After this round, we will have another round because we still have another resource person that we will have to present before this committee. And then I will guarantee you that you will be the next interpellator in the first round of that particular resource person.
Mr. Chairman, magkakasunod-sunod kasi ito, baka malaman pa ni Colonel Marcos. I will just hold my questions, Mr. Chairman. But again, I just want to manifest once again that Colonel Marcos should submit to this committee the names because before this hearing ends, in today's hearing, because I have to talk to that lawyer. Nandito naman po yung AMLA.
Okay.
Then, yung question of the names that we asked about the deponent.
Sir, I will call Major Lara.
And then, nandun si General Torre din is now communicating, I think, he's now communicating with Major Lara. May mga tanong pa ako doon, marami pa po. Now, lastly lang, Mr. Chairman, can I ask the, baka makalimutan ko, can I ask the DOJ, what are those reason or requirements, legal requirements that the case of Igay Alvarez, in the case of in which and the case of Mayor Alvera, in which police officers are involved in the death of those allegedly detained drug lords. What are the basis or reasons for it to be reopened?
I'm very again, Mr. Chair, I'm here actually for the Pogo related issue, so I'm not very familiar with their cases, sir. I'm just a while ago I was answering on the questions regarding this particular incident based on the decision of the Supreme Court that I just read, but. As of now, I'm still. I'd like to refer back to our main office so that we could inquire upon it.
Please.
Yes, sir.
Now, can I get the opinion na lang, last na, Mr. Chairman? Can I get the opinion of our dear colleagues, former colleague, he is also a top-notch lawyer, may kababayan in Bacolod, Congressman Nery Colmenares, with regards to possible reopening of cases, no? Of the case with doon sa kay Egal Alvarez, and the same kasi namatay doon sa loob ng jail. And I do believe that may problema po sa process. And I also do believe that the purpose of that trade, no, and the search warrant is not to get what is what is in the search warrant, but the life of the two PDLs.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, there is always that possibility of opening up these cases, Mr. Chair. Secondly, the issue of search warrant factories had been an issue. That's why the Supreme Court was even forced later on to say na hindi pwede yun. You're using, because many people died because of these search warrants issued by Metro Manila judges, Mr. Chair. So in cases such as this, misuse of the legal processes of the law, or heinous crimes like crimes against humanity, for example, Mr. Chair, this can always be opened anytime, Mr. Chair, especially since they do not prescribe, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Congressman Nery. Thank you.